Hi, my name is Gwen Herman, and I'm applying for the Customer Service Management position. I am planning on graduating with my Bachelor's in Health Service Administration this upcoming spring, and I currently already obtained my Associate's degree in Business Administration. I have a very long line of job history in the customer service field, from starting when I was 16 years old all the way up currently to now. When I was 16, I got my first job at Maurice's, which is a fashion company, and I worked as a sales associate. From there, I moved over to a restaurant called Texas Roadhouse, and I started as a hostess. I did move up through that company from hostess to go to phone, and then to trainer on phone and to-go orders. So whenever people would move up through the company, I was the person who trained them. I felt very empowered to do that because I felt I was making a difference in the company because it started with me. If those people were going to give amazing customer service, they were going to get those tools from me as their leader and their trainer. As I was in college, I worked for Phantom Fireworks as a cashier and a sales associate. I started through that company from the bottom, and then I did work up to be a sales associate. I made so many wonderful friends there, as well as I learned many skills from that company. And then currently today, I am a top seller for Bath & Body Works. These skills that I have learned through the years in these different working environments has basically taught me how to run many different registers, but handle very different situations with customers, give wonderful customer service, describe and recommend so many different products, and learn how to get close with customers to provide that great customer service to them. And most important, I learned how to handle many different situations that were difficult with customers. For example, currently at my job, 2 weeks ago we had a customer come in and she wanted to use double coupons. Well, at our current store policy, we're not allowed to accept double coupons. So I gladly explained the policy to this particular customer, had a manager free out an item for her, and then she actually left the store with more products, a free item, she left happy, and she left knowing what our coupon policy was. So in the future, we wouldn't have the same issue at the register. These many different skills that I've obtained through the years will actually benefit being a customer service manager because I know how to lead by example. I've been in these positions, I've worked through these jobs, and I know how to give the tools and the skills and the advice to employees so hopefully they actually can give the same amazing customer service. Through the years, I've had a lot of different manager personalities to work with, starting from the worst all the way up to the best. By far, my best manager was when I worked for Phantom Fireworks, and she was actually a business major as well. She led by example. She worked with employees. No job was too much for her. She would do shipment with us, She was a manager, but she made you know that she was no different than you. Obviously, we gave her the utmost respect, but she would do all the grungy work we had to do. And it actually made employees respect her more because they didn't feel that there was a gap between her and us. We felt like we were all one team. We were all going to give amazing customer service. We were all going to work together as a team, and we were all going to complete tasks together. Probably my worst manager was my manager at Bath & Body Works. It was difficult working with this particular manager because she made very degrading comments towards many employees. She didn't do shipment with us. She would mainly sit at her desk on the phone most days. So being in an environment where your manager, who's supposed to lead you, encourage you, recommend things to improve on, to give great customer service, and to make your job a happier experience for you and the employee, I feel is what a manager should do. But this particular manager makes very degrading comments towards employees. She blames employees for certain things that they didn't do. And if you say, oh, well, I'm sorry that happened, but it wasn't me that did that, she will turn around and say, yes, you did do it, even though she didn't see you do it. And it becomes a very big hassle. If she likes to blame people for things and then turn around, and if you make a comment like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened, but this is why it happened, she just says it's an excuse. And it does make it a very hard environment to work in. I did find myself dreading coming into work knowing when she was working, because I knew I was going to leave unhappy at night. I knew when I got off my shift at night, I was going to leave either mad or sad, or basically felt degrading in a way, because I felt like I could have done better, even though I worked so hard. How did I learn from these experiences? Well, from the good manager I had, I learned how to be a great manager. I worked with her for years. I learned how to encourage employees and how to work with employees and how to lead by example, how to be that manager that people respect, but also a manager people take seriously. I learned that in order to get respect from employees, you have to, in fact, give respect to employees. You have to treat employees like you're equal, but in the end of the day, they also have to treat you as their manager, and what you say goes. I learned these great skills from her that I will take in my future endeavors. I even take those things I learned from her in my current job as a top seller at Bath & Body Works. As a top seller, I am the lowest form of management for the company, but I'm still technically management. I'm not the head manager, I'm not a supervisor, but employees do come to me when they need something, if they have questions, if they need advice, or if they just don't understand something or know what a certain thing a customer is asking for. I use those tools then to give that employee useful tools to use, as well as answer their questions. And I ensure and tell employees whenever they ask me things that they should always ask, because it's better to ask and know rather than question and not know. Because if in order for them to know that answer, it's improving the service they're giving to customers, because they know they have an answer and they have the correct answer. What I learned from the bad manager I had, well, I learned what not to do. I learned how to not speak to employees. I learned how to not treat employees. I learned how it felt to be managed in that way. And I always take positivity from negative situations. So I'm always going to view my bad experience with this particular manager as a positive tool that I'm going to use in my current life. So for example, whenever in the future I'm dealing with a difficult employee who, let's say, isn't working, that I feel isn't performing to the level that I feel they should be, or that they did something wrong and that's not standard policy, I won't go up to that employee and say, you should have done that better, or that's an excuse that you did that. How dare you do that? I'm going to actually turn around and say, I understand why you had difficulty doing this task on time. So here's some great tools that you can use in the future to follow through with these projects in a timely manner. And if they say, oh, well, this happened because of this, I'm going to be like, I understand. And here's some tools on how we can overcome those obstacles. I don't think an employee should ever feel that they're degrading or feel worthless in their job. And I learned these from these bad experiences that I've gone through. How I feel our current generation of workers need to be led in order to get the best efforts is that a manager needs to be a good leader to lead our current generation. Our current generation, most of them I have found, don't have jobs, or at my current age, are just getting into their first job. I'm in around the fourth or fifth company I've worked for, many different positions I've worked in. And from what I've learned in like just the last couple of months, from new hiring that we've done at my company, is that so many people between the ages of 19 and 24 are just getting their first jobs now. So the current generation that are needing to be led, because they have such limited experience working, I feel like a great manager is the tool they need to be led. Like I said, many millennials don't have that knowledge of working. They don't have those skills from working different jobs. They need a manager that is going to explain what is expected of them, but also encourage them along the way. And by encouraging, build up their courage and build up their knowledge in the job that they're currently working for.